2-ounce pretty blue. Stuff in your pup pig, snuffing with my buck stick. 22-cent booty pig, 24 make movie flick. 26 mile high club, 3 Sims in the bathtub. Geechee for the lap up. Pray to God you meet each other and mother some. Ex used to hate me, cause I fucked her best friend. She wanted to be a lesbian. Me too, fat bitch on the E2. Back boom on E2, beat you, slide to your own walls. Ebony, POV, met you on Pornhub. Hashtag, all cash, badass, no water. Book is money daughter.
So initially that was my that's why I picked the song too, because of the scream. I used to do that driving around.
That scream was tough. That scream was real tough.
Driving around the city, I used to out the truck and shit. Ow!
Oh my.
Yeah, that was
Hello, everybody.
What's up? What's going on?
Happy to be here once again. If this is your first time tuning in, we are the one, the only, the
Two Real Radio.
Jen Strong, lover of life.
Chuck Wagon as always. What you
I'm your man C.
Man C, what's up?
How's everybody feeling?
Feeling good, feeling
so
great,
far, so good,
feeling
man.
lovely.
That was almost the Mike Jones joint. I'm
Out of
feeling
sight.
good. I'm feeling great. Had a fourth and a sip, Dave. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mike Jones, you gotta be a little old to remember the Mike Jones era of the whole Swisher House.
So the whole Mike
Mike
Jones.
Yeah, I've been listening to all that shit recently. Paul Wall was nice for real.
Yeah, he was all right.
I mean,
He's
you know,
a gimmick. I mean, if you listen to it, he rapped the same way every single time. Though. Like he
mean,
had a
everybody-
cadence that he rocked to every time. But you know.
all of them did. All right, so what's going on?
Bag of the week.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Oh, bag of the week.
Get that out of the way.
Smurf sours.
Now I was telling you, for real, you can't go wrong with the blue
The
joints.
Smurf,
Like the
y'all.
blue joints.
The
What
Smurfs.
flavor? What flavor is blue?
It's like
Smurf.
raspberry. Yeah, raspberry.
Smurf flavor.
Huh?
Blue is normally raspberry.
What the hell is blue raspberry?
Blue raspberry, what?
But what is blue raspberry? Is there a blue raspberry? Is there?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a blueberry?
No, it's blue. It's
Blue raspberry.
It's blue raspberry.
Just changed. Like, I did not know that.
What?
There's no blue raspberry?
No.
Say mind blown.
I guess.
It's a candy flavor.
I guess maybe candy wise, the color it would be too many red colors.
All I know is
Blue raspberry is I know.
when that blue raspberry
I can roll the
blow
white
pop
drink
hit
for
the
you. I can roll.
Yeah.
that shit was like crack.
I can roll the
Okay.
white drink.
I
I'm
got
sorry.
you. I got you on that.
That's actually, I think, why they
So
probably
we gonna test them out.
blue raspberry.
Color wise.
Just said red stuff was like crack. They found out that both red and orange dyes are contributing to the cancer rate. So therefore, they probably can create that.
Okay.
It's
All right,
delicious.
cool. We appreciate it.
Whatever they did, it's
So
delicious.
yeah. So what else on top? What else on top?
Yeah,
else on
I have
top?
some.
So
Sorry. Help yourself.
terrible hands. So
Pass them out.
you know, I always got a story. I don't know. Should I go first? Does anybody want to go?
Cool, what you got?
All right. So let's start with last week. Again, I continue with the series of people getting their ass whipped. Right. So this week, MMA fighter Pauliana Viana beat up a mugger. Guy tried to mug her, take her cell phone in Brazil.
Damn.
She beat his ass. Now she says.
We.
God damn.
Now she said she only hit him with 2 punches, 1 kick, and then choked him out until the police got there.
What you said? 2 punches, 1 kick.
I don't know how. Can we put that one more time? One more time,
please. One more time.
I don't know if anybody ever been in a fight here, but I don't know what 2 punches.
2 punches
That's,
and a kick.
I don't know 2 punches and a kick. What do you think?
You can get blood from one punch,
man.
so it's possible.
But the swelling,
She
the
whipped
punch.
his ass, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
punches,
look at
one
that,
kick
though. Right.
in the right spots, it's possible.
Damn.
She a trained
So
fighter.
that was.
Trained
That
fighter
was.
is possible.
So remember before it was what the karate the lady that was about to get kidnapped ran into the karate
That's right,
school,
ran
got
into the
beat up.
karate joint. Yeah.
It was another
That's
lady
like, young,
beating
you
somebody
don't know
up.
who you messing with. That's the moral of the story is you don't know
Just
who
be
you messing
nice.
with.
Keep
So
your
just
hands
stay in your lane.
to
Yeah.
yourself. Don't try to take nothing. That
And then
ain't
what she
yours.
did, obviously, self defense.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Oh, and
messed with you,
he
yeah,
supposedly had a gun, but when she went through his pocket after she held him up, it was really just cardboard, like some cardboard
Fake
to
him
hold
like
the
that. Yeah.
He messed
something
with the
soft.
wrong
It was
one.
just, yeah.
Whooped his ass though.
So that was another. So maybe next week another woman will beat somebody's ass, and I'll have another.
That's the trend.
That's
right
the trend. If I can find another, I'm gonna try to
That's
keep
what
it
I'm saying.
going.
Keep it going. Keep it
I'm
going.
gonna try to find
Right,
women
yeah,
whooping ass.
Whipping
Just-
ass.
just-
Women
just-
whipping ass segment every Friday. You know what I mean? Right. There you go.
From women whipping ass to getting abused and shit. 29-year-old woman,
Man, this was messed
11-year
up.
coma in
This
what was it,
messed up,
Arizona?
man. That was messed up.
my goodness.
Pregnant, delivers a baby. She's
Right.
been in hospice care for 11 years.
Somebody
Yeah,
messing. That's what I'm saying, man. That's
Pregnant.
not good, man.
delivering.
Disgusting.
Now my
And then
thing
you know they
is,
checking all the DNA.
yeah, right. So they
everybody, and
so they
all
did
that-
get
all
they
that
got
good
a
stuff
warrant.
to see,
They got a
yeah.
warrant to check DNA. So it's definitely somebody. I'm thinking caregiver, somebody washing her
Mm-hmm.
up or something like that.
Anybody that got access to her, they don't have to just.
Remember that joint? Kill Bill. I'm Buck, and I like that's that shit. He was selling. Remember he was renting Uma Thurman out. Uma Thurman out in Kill
that's
Bill.
Right, that's right. I ain't really like Kill Bill. I
My
ain't gonna
thing,
start that.
oh man,
I
you gotta
ain't really like that joint, man.
you gotta see Quentin Tarantino's
Nah,
vision,
nah.
his style of movie making. Is,
After Pulp Fiction, he lost me a little bit. What?
Really?
For real? Yeah, he did actually.
But yeah, so I think that the thing is now you got to check every patient in there. Anybody that's in a coma or you got to really just clean house.
That's nasty though. I'm like, come on, man. It's sick too. I mean, like I said, for a family
They ain't
and
know she was
everything. For her, they didn't know she was
Well, I mean,
pregnant.
eventually somebody was like, "Holy shit,
Yeah,
she's
something,
pregnant."
I
You know
mean, they've
what I'm
been
saying?
abusing her. She
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
just
Right, and
got
she been there
pregnant.
for 10 years,
Right.
so it's
And
like
she
yo,
just
this-
got pregnant.
Right.
Somebody been,
Right, that's horrible.
It's
I
messed
pray
up.
for her and her family and that child, and I hope they find who did it.
Oh, they gonna find them. DNA.
They
DNA don't lie.
justice.
DNA does not lie. I used to tell a buddy of mine, I had a buddy, straight gangster, man. He was like, "Oh, you got my microphone." I'm trying to hurt now. We're gonna switch later.
Somebody-
Straight right here.
Oh,
Yeah, so I had a buddy that was a real criminal and shit. He was like, "Yeah, anything can happen at any time. You never know when it's going down." I was like, "Well," I used to be like, "Well, I gotta go because I'm squeamish, Slim. You hit somebody and they brains fly out, I'm throwing up, and we all going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You got DNA evidence. I'm Erling every
Whatever you
time.
do in the dark is gonna come out.
Yeah, straight up and out. You know what I'm saying?
That's
There you
never
go.
got her pregnant. And she
Yes,
done had
that's
a baby.
that's super terrible.
and
Idiot.
she was in the vegetative state.
But
too,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on,
I mean,
man.
all types of fetishes, man. People are into that non-responsive. I feel like we had this conversation before about
we did
a guy,
with,
a guy on ice,
yeah,
a
with,
guy.
Cosby joint.
Bill
Speaking of
Cosby,
that-
Necro, yeah.
Cosby.
Speaking of that,
Go ahead.
I knew we was going to say, I looked back at that show, right? I looked back at that show because I knew I had said some stuff about R. Kelly. So I wanted to see what I had said. And I don't feel the same way.
What you mean?
I was kind of like taking up for him.
Yeah.
Like,
I
How?
remember
I don't,
that, yeah.
because I was like I could
He been a
separate it. I was like I could separate it because of the music, but
Look,
I don't
R.
feel the
Kelly-
same way
Right,
no
it's a
more.
little,
R.
little
Kelly-
different now,
I don't
yeah.
feel the same
R.
way. I
Kelly
feel like
fucked
he
up
used
Space
his,
Jam for
I
me.
feel like he
you
used
can't
his
even
music.
watch
I can't.
Space
I
Jam.
tried the other day. It came on.
Hey.
I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna watch Space Jam. I'm gonna hitting the J laid out Space
Used
Jam." So,
his
I
musical
used it.
genius was-
I was
is
like,
undeni-
all I could see was
undeniable.
just somebody
Right.
standing up doing like this.
To
the whole
love
time.
everybody to
I was
sleep.
like,
Yeah.
through the
got
music.
it, got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So that
So now you
everybody
don't
can
believe you
turn
can
a
fly,
blind eye
basically,
or
bro.
whatever to facilitate
I
It's
never
done, it's
thought
done
his
now. I
crazy
can't fly
lifestyle
this
and
shit.
I
Yeah.
just,
man was out
can't.
and
Yeah.
I just can't. Yeah, I just.
It's
can't.
been out though. It's been out. It's
I
been
know, but I
known
just-
that he's a perv and
I
he's
just don't feel the
into
same
little
way.
girls.
I don't know. Maybe it's
He
just
was-
all.
But now it's like in front of everybody's face now.
came
you know,
full
like
circle.
See, here's
and
the thing.
quite
When I
all
was-
the way curled
when I
around,
was young-
whatever the reason, I just don't.
When
feel
I
the
was
same
young
way.
and had like
I
the
to
crush
make
on
that
Aaliyah,
known.
she was like something like kind of like my age, where it would be like a young girl and an older guy, and it was like, yeah, this old man got this young girl. I'm mad. He's taking all the young girls. Now I'm a grown man. I'm like, this fucking guy is disgusting. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just,
It does seep into-
yeah.
it
I always
seeped into
knew.
the
It's
music
not.
for
It's
me
not
now.
a
It's
secret.
not the same now.
Once the
I got
video
you.
came out in 2001, and I saw him peeing on her, I was like, yeah, this guy's really disgusting.
That's when they should have thought something was wrong with him. Like, you peed on a girl. Like,
But our
Yeah,
culture,
Everybody
the Leah
knew,
thing,
but
too,
that's
man,
what he
tried to
saying.
marry
He saying
culture,
everybody knew.
14-year-old.
Saying
Our
everybody
culture,
knew. Everybody
though.
turned the blind eye because of the
Everybody
music.
did right.
that's our
Or
culture.
because
That's,
of whatever.
we have a
Because
culture of
whatever.
ignoring, as you know.
Right, and we got to stop doing that. We gotta stop
families
doing
and
that.
all that. We have a culture
gotta
of
stop doing
ignoring
that.
abuse. And,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
it's just,
Like
you
know what's going on,
There
but
shouldn't
then
be
don't
no
say
more R.
nothing,
Kelly
right.
shows. There shouldn't be no more.
And remember, it was people who were saying that they knew what was going on, but they was kind of quiet about it. Like, you know,
all
so
y'all
it's
need
like
to go to jail too.
everybody-
You're an
everybody
accomplice.
should be-
You're an accomplice. You're an accomplice. If you knew, if you saw, if you thought, if you have a story to tell now
no
about
way.
something
Right.
that happened, you're a fucking accomplice. If I'm in the car with you and you go into the store and you shoot somebody, and I'm like, yo, I'm not with this, I'm an accomplice now. Yeah, if anything happens, if I give you a ride to somebody's house and
That's
you
what
shoot
I'm saying.
them,
Like R. Kelly not the one
I'm an
going to
accomplice.
Home Depot buying
so
buckets.
you saw, and you're an
Right.
accomplice.
Right.
Right, exactly. He
You know what
ain't
I'm
the one,
saying?
he
That's
right.
somebody you got.
I need
somebody
like
doing
seven.
that.
I need
You know what
seven.
mean?
I need
And
seven
they know
buckets.
what he doing. You
Right.
dig what I'm saying? So,
R. Kelly not delivering meals.
All y'all
to
guilty.
Each and everyone. You got somebody doing that. If you letting them eat that day. Like that's crazy.
I see what you saying.
So
But you know, like I said, we love to jump on bandwagons,
feel the
man.
same.
We love. Yeah,
I
I've
can
been
now
said.
safely start exiting R. Kelly out of my music.
I had a
repertoire.
friend, and every time that shit would come on in her car, I'd be like,
My
next
body's
track.
calling can go.
Next
I don't-
track.
All that shit. Yeah. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics,
It
man.
don't need to be carried on to the next generation. Is what I'm saying. His music, it can stop right.
But like
here.
you say, what's in the dark comes to the light.
Right.
And I mean, that
It happened. You know what I'm saying? I've been on it, so I'm not surprised. I really don't care. I didn't see the special. I'm not going to watch the special. It's just going, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to everybody. If you mad now, like I say, if you just waking up, if you woke now and shit, you know, forget you.
Yeah, remember-
If you just saying something now, forget you too. You know
we
what I'm
talked
saying?
about it before. I'm never surprised with celebrities because I don't know.
Yeah,
so what am I
right.
surprised about? I'm surprised with people I know when I find out some shit like that.
Well,
he did that.
I got to
But I
jump.
don't know.
Nothing
Okay.
surprised.
Yeah, I ain't
I-
surprised
look.
at all.
Lady in a coma for 10 years just had a baby.
I'm gonna tell you what surprised
What
me.
surprised us at this
I'm gonna tell you what surprised me. Jeff Bezos, you surprised me,
Oh,
sir, by
man.
not getting your lady
Oh,
to sign
geez.
a fucking prenuptial agreement. That's what the fuck
Yeah.
surprised
Oh, she
me.
about to get paid.
Richest man in the world,
paid.
$137 billion is getting a divorce. If she gets no prenuptial agreement, if she gets half, she will now be the richest woman in the world. Ladies, there's a lesson in this. Everybody marry up.
But think
You
about
know
it
what I'm
though. She about to go the extra step and go half on the stock options. You dig what I'm
That's
saying?
the way to
taking
go.
the-
Think long term. She not old.
Yeah, she ain't gonna go
She's
half
not
on
old.
just
Man,
his net
think
worth.
think
yeah.
long term, fellas. New lady on the market. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, right.
She's single. I mean, she's about to be.
Well, you know she about to be
she got
single,
cake.
right?
You know what I'm saying? She
Married
could
for love.
she could throw a little bit at you. Married for what? This is America. Married for love.
Married for money, learn to love.
No
That's how
other
it go,
reason
right?
to get married.
Hey, if you pull married for love, if there's some money involved, you just marry smart. You know, I don't know.
You know,
I'm
love will
just
grow
talking
on you, right?
shit,
I
you
mean,
know what I'm saying?
the money
Love.
is immediate, but the love will grow on you, right? Can't you learn to love a billionaire? You can't learn.
If
to
you
love
got
a billionaire?
look,
You couldn't? No. I think I could learn to love the shit out of
I
billionaires.
won't be.
I would never
What they bang? What's the
So you
drink they
won't
bang?
marry
I'm not in love with you. I have love for you. I'm not in love with you. Yeah, nah. Yeah, never.
I'm joking, but I'm just saying money does talk, though. Man, that's a lot of that.
Get her to sign them papers. Get her to sign them papers.
Think about it. If she a
Get her to sign
billionaire, I
them
might
papers.
not be as
It's
picky
too much-
with her. You dig what I'm saying? Like
I
certain
joke-
shit,
I
I
joke.
might let ride. Like okay, her
How can you be
personality
picky
is
if she a
kind of
billionaire?
okay.
She
That's
could be
what I'm saying,
awful.
right.
She could sound like Fran Drescher, look like Roseanne. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. She's a billionaire.
you straight,
Hey,
no.
beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you come sing to me? Come over here and sit on my lap and sing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
yeah, she gonna get paid though, man. We gotta see how that joint unfold too, man. Cause she gonna set the precedent. She gonna set the for real. She gonna set the bar, like for other people to be like, okay, this is what you need to do,
Very smart.
like hit them. Yeah,
I mean, look, I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but you know what I'm saying. When it's that much money involved, you know what I'm saying. When you're that guy and it's that much money, well, I mean, he didn't know before they got married 25 years ago that he was gonna be.
That's 25 years. So she
Yeah.
was with him before he had
Oh,
all of
yeah,
that.
she gonna
so
get
she a
paid.
part
I mean,
of him
shit,
having
she-
all of that. So
At what dollar
you got
amount?
all of them billions
At
with
what-
is half of it.
at
So
what- at
So
what
you got to
comma-
have? So
You
what?
say
You
she a
still
part
got
of it?
50 billion something.
At
dollars.
what comma
Doesn't
amount
matter.
do you start reaching out for a hitman? I mean, it's like shit.
None, because it's not worth it.
Fuck it. That's
Because
fucking.
both of y'all stinking
What's
dumb.
that? What's that?
Stinking
What's that?
dumb,
9.
Stinking
That's
dumb rich.
9, 10, 11, 12.
So it don't
that's
even
fucking,
matter.
What was that?
She deserves
11 fucking zeros and shit. It
lot.
crossed his mind at least once.
It ain't hurting him.
Yeah, I
not
guess.
And he gonna get that money back too.
It's not
You
hurting
already know
him.
that.
She gonna get it back and he gonna get it back.
Yeah.
10 years they
Put
gonna
more
both have
stock
another
options
100
out there than buy
If
up the
that long.
stocks and then get his
If
shit
that
right
long.
back. Yeah, get his shit right back. So
So
it'll
what
be alright.
difference do it make? Cut her a check.
It's an expensive lesson learned though. You
Cut
know
her a
what I mean?
check.
For real.
What's the lesson?
They both said if they
Sign
would-
a prenup.
No, they both said if they were to
This
do
was
it
25
again.
years ago.
But he had visions though. He knew that
She
he
had
wanted.
visions. They had visions
Yeah,
together.
What was her vision?
How you know?
I
She,
love
how
to
you
know.
know?
her
How
vision.
you know? How you know? How you know?
I don't
No,
know.
no, he
I don't
said-
wanna- I don't
He
wanna-
He
I
said
don't
no.
wanna
He
put it
said
down,
he
but
said
I'm just saying,
she
like,
was the
she
driving
was-
force
Y'all
for him.
automatically assuming that she ain't put that work in.
She
with
did
him.
no. I'm not. He did say that she was the driving force in his ideas for
What does she
Amazon.
do?
So
You know what she do?
Yeah.
maybe she
Your
gave him.
wife.
Thought she
Maybe
just
she gave him a
like a
peaceful
mom or
home.
something.
That's
She
worth
like
it.
a
That's
wife.
worth it. She gave
Yeah,
me
say
a
make-
peaceful
yeah,
25
make
years
home-
apiece.
make
You
home.
get
Man
you
and
get
wife
that.
is
You get
worth
that.
it. It's worth half. 25 years.
25 is
She get
25.
half.
I ain't
Half,
taking
man.
nothing away from
That's
it.
enough. But that's it. Look, we can go all about half because this half.
She
I don't
held
know
him
about
down
20,
for
25 years and half. Nah, half.
held him down
half.
for
I can
25
understand if you was like if
a
I
lot
was
of
if
money,
I'm
man.
Jordan and you won the MVP one year too. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't do anything.
don't know what
Your
she
stats
did.
are zeros all the way across the board.
don't
I
know
mean,
what
thank
she
you for
put up
everything on
with.
the side. You deserve
You
a
don't know
piece
what
of.
agreements they had.
But half, I don't
You
know
don't know
about
what
half.
agreements was broken.
Stedman don't deserve half of
don't know
Oprah. You know what I'm
none of
saying?
that.
No, I don't think anybody deserves half of something that you did. They deserve a
Don't
piece.
know
You
what
can't
they
leave
did
them
to
broken,
contribute.
destitute. But
You don't know what they did to contribute.
Both of them at 0. And they
Not half.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No.
build it together.
I'm cool with 25. I'm cool with 33 and a third. You know what I'm saying? I'm half. I don't know. You went out there with the achy knees when I was sitting in the ice pool and shit. I mean,
both of y'all was at 0, then yeah, that's
Half is
nah.
half, yeah.
But you didn't go to practice every day. You just supported me going to practice.
You
You
don't
didn't.
know.
You didn't shoot 1,000 jumpers every
But
day.
you might have
I
only
shot.
made it to practice every day because of me.
Yeah, but what I did when I got there
I
was
might have
on
been
me.
your alarm
You
clock.
just no. I'm not.
I'm the one who making
I'm
your
not
lunch.
saying you don't
I'm the one
deserve
who
a
making your
piece.
dinner.
I'm
the
not
one who rubbing
saying.
your back when you come
I'm not
home,
saying
making
you
sure
don't
You
your
said
deserve-
that's
bathroom
justified
clean.
to 50%.
Yeah, I'm not saying that
I'm the one
justifies-
that's washing your clothes. I'm the one that's
I
making
got
sure
it.
you
No,
got
no, you
everything
not.
you need.
The fuck out of here. Because once I hit the NBA, we had it made. You ain't doing
I'm
shit.
just
Cut the
saying,
bullshit.
I'm just saying.
You ain't done
That's just
shit
a
in 20 years,
hypothetical
but
for examples of being
cut
a
the
wife.
bullshit. Cut the bullshit. You over there with the
Just
scrunch
saying.
ties.
No,
Cut the
no.
Both
bullshit.
started at 0,
There's
like she
no.
said.
We're not
Y'all
gonna.
built
No,
it together.
we're not going through it. So who do we got today? We're gonna get to this. We can go through this all day. We gonna wrap up our time and all that. So I'm trying to get. We got 3 to go. We got 3 to go. You don't deserve half, but no. So today we have
Half, from half to half.
Nah, look at
half
There you
to
go. Still got the
half
Yeah.
to half. So we have Charlie from Elemental Shrubs. They do shrub and shrub drinks. I'm curious as to exactly what shrub drinks are. Krishna from Sasya. They do Indian food, snacks and stuff like that. So I'm interested to get a new snack in my life. And we have Jesse from 10 by 10? 10 by 10 Coffee Company.
Smell good.
So yeah. I'm not a coffee guy, but I'm interested. I'm definitely down. So we're gonna take a short break. Swap out our
Miniature.
put Chuck in his box, and then we'll come right back to Real Radio.
One go. Oh damn! I can't.
What
make
the
it.
hell?
You heard that? Woo.
Welcome back to our show, everybody.
So,
All right, we're joined Mr. Jesse McCarley. McCarley, you got it
Doing
right?
very well.
How you doing?
Thank you.
It smells. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
a
does.
like I said. I'm
It
not
does
a.
smell
The
good.
coffee smells amazing.
Thank you for coming to our show, smelling it up so good.
Thank you for having me. This is really cool.
So 10 by 10 coffee.
Yeah.
Please give us a. I just went out. Give us a.
I'll tell you about the name first. So 10 by 10 is the original dimensions of Washington, D.C. It was a 10 mile by 10 mile square before Virginia got their space back. And
Give me my ball back.
our intent is to do our best to represent the city, to take care of the community, give back when we can, and to provide a great product. Take care of people, build relationships.
So, go ahead. Go ahead.
How long y'all been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 8 months.
Ooh, fresh out.
okay.
Yeah, brand new. This is about as
They
about as
looking
new
good
as
to
it
be
gets.
fresh out, y'all. Check them out.
Yeah.
So-
Check them out real quick. What's your Instagram? Tell the people where they can find you real
you
quick.
just find at 10 by 10 at 10x10 coffee. Website.
10x10 coffee, y'all. Go
That's
find them right now.
That's it.
Show them y'all support.
Yep. So I've been here for. I'm actually a member of the DC Air National Guard too. So like,
Oh, cool.
I try to be in the community as much as I can. So
So what? Coffee. Why coffee? Is that something that you're super into? Are you a coffee drinker, or is it just something that you stumbled into?
well, kind of a little bit of both.
Okay.
I like coffee. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. As a kid, I would pick oranges in my backyard in Florida.
I'm about to say,
And,
yeah.
Wow.
I would drag them out to the street and make orange juice and sell oranges out on the curb.
That's amazing.
So I've always wanted to do something on my own, and I had an opportunity last year to do something. And roasting coffee was a relatively low financial barrier to start. So
Is it? I mean, it's something that you would think that it's something that's everybody's using daily. It would be something, and it seems so difficult. I guess I don't know. It seems like something that would be difficult to get the Colombian roast, this roast. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah,
so-
right. I'm about to say, right? How you even make coffee?
Right, I
How
don't-
you even do it? Right?
So coffee's it's pretty interesting, all the way from the production and the green coffee sourcing down to the consumer. It's a pretty unique process, but to make coffee like you're talking about making coffee, it's pretty simple. You have coffee beans that come from a coffee plant.
Okay.
They're dried out. They're roasted by someone like me. You buy the coffee in a bag and take it home. Hopefully you can grind it. That's kind of key for making it fresh. What you're used to probably with even Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, Folgers, all that's dark roasted coffee. And really that's you're losing the flavor of the coffee. People talk about, I'm not a coffee person. I don't really like coffee. Probably because everyone's had it burnt, like just roasted so dark.
I've probably never had a proper cup.
So I like to say that every coffee bean, every origin has its own flavor.
I like
And
them.
so
Myself.
yeah, because the lighter you roast it, the more you actually taste the product, like the bean, where it's from. You can taste the difference in the processing. Yeah. So some of these coffees, depending on how they get the coffee bean out of the cherry, has like almost a blueberry flavor to it, or a cherry flavor. So
how long are we talking about roasting?
So a batch of coffee beans only takes between 8 to 10 minutes to roast.
Smell the chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Smell the chocolate.
No, it's funny. I was laughing when you said how most people have had coffee, right? Because I just always assumed that's how coffee tasted. Like I
Yeah.
never even realized straight black dark roast.
Oh, yeah.
But then I actually went with one of my coworkers one day. We went to an actual coffee shop. And they had like a strawberry flavored coffee, man. And I'm just like, it was like Ethiopian coffee,
Yeah,
And
that's-
I was like, damn, and it was funny. The caffeine content was different. I actually thought the darker, the more caffeine was in, and they was actually like, nah, it's the lighter or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The lighter is the more
Yeah.
more caffeine content. So
Yeah, just like any food, the longer you cook it, the more you burn it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you lose mass. So there's a little more caffeine in the lighter roast because you have a heavier bean.
Okay, so I need like a super dark roast. Me and caffeine. Oh no, I'm like I'm like
So
Alvin.
you
It
messing
just seemed
with
from
You
Alvin
probably
the
just want
Chipmunk.
decaffeinated then.
Yeah, I need
It
super.
smells delicious, people.
Yeah. I mean, you can actually smell the cherries and the chocolate in there, and it smells amazing. So
And it transfers over to the taste. Like you taste it, how it smells.
Yeah,
like,
you can actually taste some of that. So,
Yeah.
if the more you drink, the more you taste it, and coffee, just like most things, it's some of it's an acquired taste, and the more you have, the more your palate expands. So, I personally, in addition to enjoying the flavor of the coffee, I love the ritual of making coffee in the morning. I like grinding it. I like smelling the beans and the coffee as it saturates in the water, and man, it's just like I like starting my day like that.
That's a part of his me time, y'all. Y'all gotta get your me time in.
now I
He
do
wake
like
up, he grind his beans.
I do like the
take his
smell
time,
of
make
it.
his coffee, start his day off.
I don't drink coffee, but I do my tea in the morning, my cup of tea. But I do. My lady drinks coffee every morning, so I grind it up. I'm all into like everything has to be fresh. So I'm like, hey, you got to get a coffee. We got to get a coffee press, and we got to get a grinder. We got to get beans, and and she's like, I'm not doing that every morning. I'm like, I'll do it in the morning. I like the smell, but me and like I said, me and caffeine just
Well, coffee freshness is a huge factor when it comes to like the quality and how good it tastes.
You got the whole setup right here. What you got going on?
I'm
Right?
about to say, you got some Wingman's roast here.
Oh yeah, so one of the things I do is I actually roast for a couple nonprofit organizations, and this one here is called the Check Six Foundation. They actually do called a Pilot for a Day. It's like a Make-A-Wish kind of deal where they bring a kid out to a terminally ill kid out to Andrews Air Force Base and set him up for a day being a pilot. And it's a pilot that I work with at the wing, and he has this nonprofit, and I roast for him. So, and it's cool because I'll put that on the website.
Give it back, y'all.
Yeah,
Right, give it back.
yeah, and every sale of that I give back to I give a part of that back to the organization.
So y'all know he gonna be successful. So y'all need to get with him now. Cause see, that's the key. You gotta give back. That's the thing we've been hearing.
Yeah. You can't. Apparently, you can't be stingy with your blessings. So
Right.
you gotta.
That's all about that. And as we expand, the intent here is to get a food truck this year. And one of the things that I'm aiming to do as I expand is to start hiring people that I've met driving on a side hustle for like Lyft and Via and stuff. There are so many people that I've met that are caterers, that are into the food service industry, that just don't have they don't have the connections. They don't have some of the insight that they need to get to the next level. And I currently live in Seat Pleasant, and so there's a lot of people in my community that are in need, and I fully intend to hire from those pool of people because they are hardworking, good people, and I want to focus on making all of those people managers, so they aren't just someone that's working for me. Like, they are part of the organization, and help them get ahead too. It's not just, hey, you're gonna make coffee in my truck. You're gonna be a laborer. You're gonna be a manager. You're gonna learn how to run shifts. You're gonna learn how to manage schedules. You're gonna be in QuickBooks, learn how the taxes work. We're gonna look at DCRA.
From the top to the bottom, y'all.
That's cool. Yeah,
like you have to
Sharing the wealth of the knowledge, y'all.
you got to help people. You can't we don't live in a time where we can just take. We have to give back too. We have to bring everyone up. So
I love it.
So let's
Sounds
get him
you know
some of
the
this red. Yeah, he's over there.
Setting,
That being
pat with
said,
the scale,
you always want some coffee?
yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I
so-
see Chuck over there looking.
I'm just looking
So
at the scale with the
I'm
pat.
gonna make you
on
guys
it,
a
like,
pour
hold
over
up.
here.
What we about to make over here,
So
man?
this is one of many ways to make coffee.
Okay.
So this is a little bit different from the standard pot of Mr. Coffee that you would make. The outcome is a little bit better. You can have a lot more control over your flavor, and I like to do
So that's just water, and then you have the actual grounds inside it.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it does take about 2 or 3 minutes to make, but part of that process is just being able to woosah for me, being able to just relax, start my day right. I can smell that coffee going, and I can kind of work my schedule out, and that's just good stuff for me. And
Start your day off right.
yeah, and the biggest thing for me is I want to share that with people. You know, I want to, in addition to being in business for myself and doing something that I can be proud of, this coffee is great because you can share this with people. I can bring this to someone's house. I can bring this to a party. We can talk over it. You can bring it on the road. You can take it out on a walk. It's just part of be part of your culture, part of your lifestyle. That's what I like.
It's very social, social beverage.
Absolutely.
So one more time, we're gonna let that brew, and I'm gonna get me a cup of coffee in between the break. But get everybody your social one time.
Yeah. So I'm on
Not your social, but your social media.
Yeah.
Everybody's social.
I'm on
213.
I got LifeLock for that. So you can get me on Facebook or Instagram. It's at 10x10 coffee at 10x10x coffee. That's 10 by 10. I'm on the web. Got the website 10by10coffee.com. Got the web store. You can purchase from there. Feel free to contact me direct. I do events. I do catering. You name it. I hustle. Cool.
8 months in, y'all. He needs y'all support. Y'all go find him. Check him out.
Thanks again for having me on. This
Thank you. Thank you.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out some of that coffee.
Awesome.
Too.
Yeah, definitely.
Which flavor is this, by the way?
So this is an Ethiopian Guji. It's a natural processed coffee, so it means it's got a lot more of the fruit flavor because of how long it takes the bean to come out of the cherry. It pulls some of that coffee fruit in with it. So
We're going to get into it, and we're going to let y'all know exactly how it tastes.
Yeah, we're gonna take a short break, and we get our next guest up here, and we'll get right back into it.
Right back. Two Real Radio.
Jones since 22, 24, 26, 32 ounce pretty blue. Stuff in your puppy, snuffing with my fuck stick. 22 cent booty pick, 24 make movie flick. 26 mile high club, 3 Sims in the bathtub. Geechee for the lap up. Pray to God you meet each other and mother some. Ex used to hate me, cause I fucked her best friend. She wanted to be a lesbian. Me too, fat bitch on the E2. Back boom on E2. Beat you, slide to your own walls. Ebony, POV, met you on Pornhub. Hashtag, all caps, badass, no water. Book is money daughter. Oh!
And we're back. We're back.
Welcome back to our show, everybody.
So we're joined now with Krishna from Sasya Food Company.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
So you make Indian snacks. I feel like that's Indians. Is that right? Indian snacks.
Indian snacks. That's
Okay.
the simplest way to put it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your company.
Sure. So I'll start with the name.
Okay.
Sasya is a Sanskrit word.
Sasya.
Sanskrit is the sort of root of most of the Indian languages, and Sasya means whole. So our company's name is Sasya Foods. It's a Whole Foods.
So like Whole Foods, like
Exactly.
salsa. Nice.
And
Okay.
true to the name, all our products are gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO, no sugars, colors, preservatives. We use only all-natural ingredients, whole ingredients.
That makes me see it.
You see, otherwise you see her face. She is.
We try to make our products as allergen free as possible, as inclusive as possible, so most people can enjoy it.
So, what sparked your want to make Indian snacks? Because I'm excited to get into them because I'm tired of chips. I'm tired of the regular run of the mill. I want something different, a different flavor, a different taste,
Texture,
a different
everything. Right.
I just want different. So what inspired you to make Indian snacks?
Indian snacks. So I grew up in India. I was born and raised in a small village in India, and I came to the U.S. For the first time after I graduated undergrad, and I lived in Los Angeles first, West Coast, and then 2 graduate degrees followed, one in Cincinnati and one in Boston, and then I'm here in D.C. I moved to D.C. about a little over 3 years ago, and I took up a job here. But one thing I noticed here is there's a lot of Indian restaurants everywhere I went. I'm from South India, but most of the food that is offered in Indian restaurants is North Indian food. And 2, it's very hard to get these Indian products that I am familiar with and I grew up with in grocery stores. So I cooked for myself for years. I offered to my friends and my roommates, but since when I came here, it just sparked in me that I should probably solve this by myself.
So when you offered them your food, everybody loved it?
I'm sorry?
Your friends and your roommates, when you offered them your food, they liked it?
Yes. So when I moved to the U.S. first time, I didn't know how to cook. I used to call home every day. How do you do this? How do you do this? But over time, I had to solve that problem myself first, and then I noticed there's a bigger problem. So here I am.
He did his research by calling and tweaking his recipes and calling and tweaking his recipes, and now look.
I mean, that's the theme that you hear with all of anybody that has any type of spread food. They just constantly tweaking, tweaking their recipes, seeing what works for small portions, bottling and everything like that. So what was the hardest thing that you found trying to get a consistent taste?
Yeah, consistent taste and consistent quality. So I didn't actually change much from how it's made in my village. So this is exactly the same taste, texture, color, and that's why there's no preservatives and stuff. The hardest part was to make them stay longer, shelf stable, without adding any colors or preservatives. That took some research. But
that's what everybody says. Nobody lets the secret out.
No, I'm happy to share the secret. This is we use pressure canning, and I make sure the acidity is higher, or the pH is lower. Acidity is higher, so the bacteria doesn't grow. And we have thorough safeguards built into it. Okay, at this point it needs to meet a certain quality, and then so on and so forth. The chips were much harder to make. There's a reason why we don't make chips at home, right?
They suck.
Well, they're hard to make.
I mean, I'm just summing it up. But they don't stay long. They don't get the same crispiness to them. You don't have the right temperature, the right oil. I mean, it's a lot of factors that make that perfect.
Some of them be burnt, some of them don't be burnt.
Yeah. It's just really hard. And chips is one of those classic, industrial product where you need big machinery and stuff. Traditionally, the chips at my home, they were hand pressed and deep fried, which sort of did not fit into the ethos of the company, offering healthy products. So that took a while to figure out, So and they're also gluten free, which means there's machines are harder to use because there's no elasticity. Gluten affords elasticity, but our chips are made of rice and lentils. So
rice and lentil chips.
Yeah, right.
Rice and lentil
no
chips.
potatoes.
So
They're very healthy.
Everybody
This one is spinach.
That's a spinach flavored chip.
This one is.
That's our original curry flavor.
What
That's
flavor?
my
curry flavor?
curry flavor. Yes.
Their original is curry flavor, y'all. Check that out.
That's what I'm talking about. Sea salt.
Right.
So 3 flavors of chips, and there's 4 flavors of dips.
Are they spicy?
There are a lot of spices in them,
Chips
but
and
they're
dip.
not hot.
But not hot though.
Yeah,
okay.
there's a little kick. Yeah, and we want you to actually taste the flavors in them, not burn your mouth.
So where can we get these? I know I'm getting my chips from, but where can anybody else that wants a bag of chips? Where can they get your chips and dip?
Sure. So there are multiple avenues that you can get our products. The easiest is Amazon, amazon.com/SASYA.
Shout out to Amazon.
Shout out to his wife.
You can also order from our website, sasyafoods.com, SASYAFOODS.com. But if you are into supporting local stores, local retailers, local Whole Foods, we are offered in 4 Whole Foods in the region, H Street, Foggy Bottom, Alexandria, and South Capitol that just opened.
H Street and South Capitol, y'all. Foggy Bottom.
Foggy Bottom.
Yes Organic Market,
Alexandria.
Petworth.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Organic
right
Market
there,
at
Just down the street,
Petworth.
right?
Yeah, right
Right
down the
low.
street.
Come on, y'all. Get with it.
Right around the way.
Union Kitchen Grocery, Odd Provisions, pretty close by.
Local.
Local. There's about 35 stores locally that offer our
Oh,
products.
it's
Is
everywhere.
there a list?
Cool.
Where can they find a list of stores? At the
You
website?
Yes, you can go to
Go
our
to
website.
the website so you can find a list of stores so you can go check them out. What's the price point for the people?
Sure. The chips start at $2 one bag, $1.99, and the dip started $4.45.
$4.45 for some good dip, y'all. Come on, go support them.
One more time for the people, your social media.
Yes. All our handles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. The handle is SASYAFOODS, Sasya Foods.
Sassia Foods. All across the board for social media, y'all.
Check them out. Thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
We're gonna take a short break and get our next one up here.
Thank y'all.
Cool.
Buddy.
Hey, thanks.
We're back.
Welcome back to our show, everybody.
So now we're joined with Charlie from Elemental Shrubs.
How you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Doing
How you
wonderful.
doing?
Thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Shrubs and shrub drinks. Please
Know
explain it,
what
yeah.
that is. When I
Yes.
saw that on the docket today, shrub drinks. I was
We're not
like,
a landscaping company.
That's all I was thinking. Shrubs. I was like bushes. Shrubs.
Yeah, so the word shrub in this context comes from the Arabic word sharab or sharub, meaning beverage or to drink, having nothing to do with bushes
I
in
thought
this case.
shrubbery. Yeah, okay.
But the sort of history of it dates way back. But for us, kind of what we're trying to recreate is this thing that was happening back in the colonial era, where people were using fruit in the summer and then preserving it using vinegar and sugar instead of citrus, which wasn't as available kind of over here on the East Coast, and then it would allow them to enjoy that fruit throughout the year. So, but our story kind of started 4 or 5 years ago when my wife and I were living in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and she had gotten involved in this group that foraged fruit from people's backyards. As a nonprofit, really weird and fun, cool way to get involved in the community. And we'd just go and knock on somebody's door and say, hey, you guys have a peach tree in your backyard. Can we pick all the peaches off? And then with this group, learned how to preserve fruit in every way possible, whether it was jelly, jam, hard cider, you name it. And so shrubs kind of came up during that process as a way of, preserving fruit. And so also at the same time, she was pregnant with our first child. And while she was pregnant, she wanted a cocktail, deserved a cocktail, but couldn't have one. And so we started adding the shrubs that we were making to some seltzer water, and the result was this drink that had a bunch of really good acidity from the vinegar, sweetness from the fruit and the sugar, and then sort of complexity from the herbs and the spices. And so for us, in terms of ingredients, we kind of settled on organic apple cider vinegar, organic cane sugar, whole fresh fruit, whatever that is, and then kind of different organic herbs and spices. And we wanted the flavor combinations to be really unique and interesting on their own.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing over here, man.
So
it's very unique, man.
We got a blueberry rosemary, honeydew jalapeno, chai pear. Now, she would mix them with seltzer water, but they're really great for cocktails as well.
Now, I see it says vodka and rum and gin, but it contains no alcohol.
Correct. So they're all non-alcoholic on their own. So you can just if you need a night off, if you don't drink for whatever reason, you can just add them to seltzer water. And so we started the shrub in its sort of traditional form about 4 years ago. And then last year we launched the sparkling ready-to-drink version. So essentially how she was drinking, but just in a bottle, ready to go. And this is also non-alcoholic, but...
and this came from the concept of making something for your wife so that she can...
Exactly.
That's cool, man.
Be
That's
part
cool.
Of the party, be a part of the,
Yeah, I mean, because when you're not drinking, you want something that feels as exciting, that feels as special as a drink.
That's like husband of the year shit right there.
Where can the people find it?
Watch out, Jeff Bezos.
Where can we find it? Where can the people find it? And what's your social media?
So social, everything at Element Shrub, ELEMENTSHRUB, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest.
Element Shrubs.
And then on our website, elementshrub.com.
Element
I was
Shrub.
talking about my whiskey. I don't travel with my whiskey anymore, but that's the first thing I saw when on this one. It just said.
Yeah, so that's the blueberry rosemary. So
paired perfect with
we
rye
use
whiskey.
that as a substitute for sort of sweet vermouth in some classic cocktails.
Excellent.
It looks refreshing, man. It really
super,
does.
I mean,
super
it really-
refreshing.
it really-
It's weird. So the way I describe this is like kombucha meets champagne. It's like sour and tangy, but like bubbly and refreshing.
So how much would something
Somebody
like this
behind
go
that
for?
squeal.
Like this 4-pack?
So the 4-pack is $8.99, $9.99, depending on the store.
Okay.
You can find these at Fresh Market and Giant. Locally.
Come on, y'all.
And
support
then
'em.
we'll have a big announcement coming next week too.
Where's the announcement gonna be on your social media?
Yeah.
Look out for the announcement next week on
we
social
appreciate
media,
that,
y'all. Element Shrub.
It is going down over there. We got coffee going. We got snacks. These snacks
Yes.
are great. I can't wait to get. I wish I would have bought my whiskey. I can't. I'm calling this one. I'm calling this one.
So you like that? Look at it, right? You
No,
said,
I mean, I got a bottle on stash at home, and I'm gonna get as soon as I get home. I'm getting into it. What other flavors do you have other than?
So we actually have 8 flavors. Chai pear, which is also really good with bourbon and whiskey. Honeydew jalapeno, which is my personal favorite. Tequila, mezcal, vodka for cocktails, but also really good with just seltzer. Lemon mint, which I call the gateway shrub. Blueberry rosemary. We have a pineapple turmeric as well. Cranberry hibiscus and grapefruit vanilla. And then in about a week and a half, we're re-releasing our blood orange saffron.
Wow.
Wow, nice.
Thank
So go follow him so we can get all the new releases.
One more time, your social media.
At Element Shrub.
Element Shrub.
Nice.
Thank you for coming to our show. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Quick break, y'all. Quick break. Be right back.
Jones is 22, 24, 26, 32 ounce pretty blue. Stuff in your pumping, snuffing with my buck stick. 22 cent booty pick, 24 make movie flick. 26 mile high club, 3 Sims in the bathtub. Geechee for the lap up. Pray to God you meet each other in the mall or something. Ask you to hate me, cause I fucked her best friend. She wanted to be a lesbian. Me too, fat bitch on the E2. Back boom wanna eat you, beat you, slide to your own walls. Ebony, POV, met you on Pornhub. Hashtag all cats, fat ass no water. Bookings, money daughter. Oh!
We are crammed in here like sardines.
That coffee's pretty good too. That 10 by 10.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty good.
I'm gonna make sure I get some before we leave out. Last one, last of the Mohicans. Not the best. I hate that.
He
best
said
for
we
last.
saved the best for last. That's what he told me.
I got a bunch of different
Nah, you gotta.
That's what he said.
I always say save the alcohol for last because I don't function well once I start. So I just like that.
Thank you for coming, Ben.
So we are joined
Thanks for
with
having me.
Ben Hellbender Brewing Company, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Hellbender.
Tell us
like
a little bit.
There we go.
Out of DC, right? DC.
That's
Brewing
right. Northeast DC, Riggs Park. Yeah.
Oh,
There we go.
Riggs.
Represent. All right. Okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
So yeah, our company's just over 4 years old. We've been up in Riggs Park this whole time. So yeah, we're just kind of getting ready to expand. Next big expansion right now. We just started canning about 3.5 months ago. Got our own canning line in house. So next move, you should be able to see us in all the Whole Foods in DC in about 3 weeks now. So
Oh shit!
shout out to
Right
Whole
around the
Yeah.
corner. Not
So-
soon.
real soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep 'em real busy with that. Yeah, the name Hellbender, we wanted to go with a local name without being obviously local. Hellbenders are a giant salamander, actually. So they are indigenous to this area, but they're endangered or threatened wherever they are. So we have a really strong focus on sustainability at our brewery. If you come by, I've given just about all the tours since we opened 4 years ago. So I give tours every Saturday at 3 and 5 o'clock. But we have a really highly efficient system. We use about 30% less water and about 20% less grain than just about any brewery in the world. We've got a Belgian-made system. We got a couple other pretty cool innovations, but do a lot of stuff with the local community. We do neighborhood cleanups every year. We do different fundraisers. We worked a lot with the National Zoo. If you want to see a Hellbender in the
Social
wild,
responsibility. I keep saying that.
Hellbender in the wild. Is that the zoo?
if you want to see a Hellbender in the an actual Hellbender, not in the wild, you go to the zoo.
Yeah, right.
See him in an aquarium, but they've
Yeah.
got about 20 of them at the National Zoo. We've raised money with the National Zoo, with Friends of the National Zoo, to build an endangered Appalachian salamander habitat at the zoo. So we called that one Suds and Salamanders, and we served beer. I got a bunch of friends, and we served beer like right as we were opening in the reptile house, and raised a whole bunch of money for that aquarium,
Giving
that
back,
habitat.
y'all.
So.
Now,
Supporting
is
local,
it-
supporting local.
Is it a big difference in bottling and canning? Like, I mean, in preserving a flavor?
Yeah, definitely. There's a huge benefit to canning. I think really the reason canning wasn't around as much, except in the macro with the macro guys, is because there was kind of a stigma because only the macro guys were doing it, like Budweiser, Miller, all those guys. Canning actually helps prevent light damage, which is a major issue.
Yeah.
So nothing can get in through the
Right.
aluminum. Also, you get a better seal, so there's no oxygenation, which will ruin the flavor of the beer. It's lighter, it cools down faster, it packs better. It basically just keeps the beer fresher for longer than a bottle. So, there's as far as being able to recycle these things, it's a lot easier too. So,
I see you got some funky looking bottles, man. Like,
yeah, we got a whole bunch of different stuff.
How's that come up with all the different logos and things
basically,
like that?
I have some beers with my other brewer and start thinking up names. I mean, I make all the beer. We make all the recipes ourselves. I started home brewing when I was about 19. I started brewing on a professional system when I was about 22. I never got paid to brew before Hellbender. I was just apprenticing, spending my time learning how to brew. I went to
doing his research.
Hobby to career. I told you, January is National Hobby Month.
So I always wanted to come back to DC. I was born here. I went to college out in Pennsylvania, but I went to grad school at University of Maryland. Been back ever since. So just wanted to stick around and I was doing a very different thing in college and grad school, but I was actually went to grad school for neuroscience, but a lot of stuff translates. I had learned how to brew.
Forget that brain shit. We don't need that brain shit.
That's
I'm
what
gonna make some bid. I'm gonna make some bid. That's what's up.
We got people following their dreams, y'all. They following their
That's what we need. We need
some beer to. If I turn these things sideways, you'll actually see, like, basically we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of beer here. We make probably on average in a year about 30 different types of beer. We make 2 primarily that are kind of our flagships, a Kolsch and an IPA. We've got a couple of 6-month seasonals, our Red Line Ale and American Red Ale that we make a lot of, but then lots of small batch one-offs. You'll see we did a beer that took about a year to make. That's right here. That's Groundskeeper Eiley, actually a reference to The Simpsons, Groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah, right.
But it's a Scotch ale. We aged it in local whiskey barrels for about a year, and then just released it about a month and a half ago. These are probably some of the last of the cans. If you come to the brewery, you can find them, but that's a brewery-only release. Double Chazwazzers, double IPA. We did a triple IPA.
It's a Chazwazzer.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, man. Another Simpsons reference.
Yep.
We've only ever done 2 Simpsons references, but they're both in the tap room right now. Also released an experimental IPA with a Norwegian farmhouse ale strain of yeast. We released the first batch of that.
Is it real hoppy, the IPA one?
No, we really go for balance in our beers. We don't want them to be just like you guys were saying earlier with spices. Hops can be overwhelming, so we want it to be hop flavor, but not just like bitter out the ass, kind of like where you just like can't taste anything. It wrecks your palate. These things are something you want to be able to pair with food, or just hang out and sip on one without feeling like you're, it's some sort of challenge, like you're sucking on a warhead or something like that, Right. Even our triple IPA, low IBUs, international bittering units, it's nice and balanced. It's got a lot of hop flavor, a lot of hop aroma. That's kind of our MO with hoppy beers. It's got the flavor and the aroma, but not that extreme.
And you say
bitter.
People can come through to the brewery and check out tours and things.
Saturday 3 and 5. Saturday 3 and 5.
So every Wednesday through Sunday,
5788.
5788 2nd Street Northeast.
2nd Street Northeast.
Yeah.
So where can they other than they can probably come there and get their brew fix, but where else can they find you in this area?
We're all over. We're mostly draft and small liquor stores. We're at most of the Yes Organic markets right now in cans.
Yes Organic.
Yep. Roughly about month to month, about 80 to 100 bars on draft right now, in all DC. So
okay, so let me ask you a question.
Red line one right there too. That's my line.
All of your cans looking different, what is on here that we can know is you? On every can.
It says Hellbender on every single one on the back side or on the front. Yeah.
They got the logo.
So we got the logo. Yeah. So if you turn it around, you'll see that.
Look for the Hellbender.
Yeah. They're different colors.
But it's there on each one.
Yep. And if they don't have an obvious logo, it's usually something we just released in the tap room. So you'll know it's us if you're in the tap room.
Special.
Cool.
So before we go, we're running out of time. Before we go, social media for the people?
At Hellbender Beer for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Hellbender Beer.
Well, that was, I'm going to get into these beer. I'm going to get into these chips, the coffee. That was another great episode, right?
That's a good one, man.
Right. So thanks again, Jesse, 10 by 10 Coffee, Charlie from Elemental Shrubs, Krishna from Sasia, and Ben
Evans.
Ben from Hellbender Beers Brewing Company. It's a great one.
Yeah, about to say, right, got a lot of stuff to
Just strong, lover of life. We was in here once again, everybody.
Chuck Wagon, another good one.
Your man C. And it's been another episode edition of
The one, the only, the
Two
Real Radio.
See y'all next week.